Hey, everybody, it's Drew Scooter from Sleep With Me Podcast. This is Question Corner, where I answer questions about the podcast. You could use the link and post it on our Patreon or post your question wherever you're seeing this video. Today is Wednesday, April 19th. We're having a sale on Patreon subs till the end of the month. If you become an annual patron, you get 16% off, which I think is 2 months free. I don't know how the math works. You do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. If you're already a patron and for some reason you don't have your bonus content set up in a podcast app, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron feed. Log into your Patreon account, click allow at the Acast for Patreon screen. It'll verify your account. Pick your podcast app from the list, and you're good to go. You could also download Pocket Cast and go through that. But now it's time for Question Corner, I think. Thought there was one more thing, but I got one question that just came in on our Discord, our Patreon Discord, from Tiramisu. After you record an episode, what all has to be done before it is ready to be released? I don't think I'll remember everything, but let me walk through the process with an example for this week. Today is Wednesday, and this is all in a perfect world. So today's Wednesday. I'm working from my co-working space where the days I drive my daughter to school, it's too far, like whatever, not important. So tomorrow I'll also be working from here. But tomorrow when I get home from driving to school, then rehearsal, I'll get home and I will try to record an intro when I get home. Right now, if you're following things, whatever, I'll recording that in my car for a temporary solution. But tomorrow I'm scheduled to record an intro. I do not record the episodes all at once. They're recorded in chunks because it takes a lot longer than what you hear. So tomorrow night, I ideally will record an intro. If for some reason I'm really tired or whatever, like something's not working, I'll record that intro on Sunday. But it's easier for me to stay on schedule, like everything that has deadlines. So ideally tomorrow night I'll record an intro, and then Friday I will record the thank yous and an episode. I'll talk about the episode what I'm doing. And then I may record like a Sleepy Supporter Zone, or don't have any sponsor spots. So probably a Sleepy Supporter Zone and an intro tomorrow. And then on Friday, thank yous. Again, any other stuff that has to get recorded, and then the episode. And the reason I record the shows like that is, like, I did do a double recording day recently, but recording is really it really is a lot of work, even physical work, but it takes a lot of focus to record the episodes. And I've just found that spreading those recordings out makes better quality. I've learned that over the years. Okay, so what happens after I record? So after I record, I record on a recorder. I will take the SD card, ideally immediately, and plug it into my computer, log it in a log that has a list of all the recordings with just numbers, what I recorded, the date, and where it needs to go. And then I will put it where it needs to go, meaning I'll upload it to folders for one of the two editors. Each editor, Carl and Chris Posterson, edit different style shows, and it'll go up into their folder. Now I may wait, but it's not best practices. Best practices to upload it, but I might wait to upload it till Friday, which is not a good habit. But I'll say, well, then I just upload everything at once. Ideally on Thursday, this will be the same for Friday. I'll do the same thing with the stuff I recorded. And the editors, they have their own deadlines. So, and this will kind of make sense in a second. So ideally I'm recording stuff that's going to come out 3 months from now. In a perfect world, it'll be 3 to 4 months out. So tomorrow night, I will be recording the intro for our new series. Sorry, my phone, of course, as soon as I hit record. So tomorrow night, I'll be recording the first episode, the intro, and then Friday, the first episode and the thank yous for our new series that starts after Make Great Pets is done. All of Make Great Pets is recorded and uploaded. I don't think it's all edited yet. Most of it's edited. So I'll record the first episode in that series. which is probably not 3 months out. It's probably, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 5. So it's probably 2 or 3 months out. So we're not in too bad a shape. So those will, okay, so I'll record the episode, I will log the episode, and then I will upload it for the editors. Now the other editors work on their own pace, and that's what's nice about this is a moving train again. So those episodes will be uploaded, and then the editor, as they're working through their queue of episodes, will get to that episode, and it'll be episode 1. So Posty would finish editing Make Great Pets. I know episode 9 is right now in progress, editing progress, or it's just edited. I haven't listened to it yet. But I won't listen to the episodes at all. So again, they'll get uploaded, eventually Posty. If we're going on this 3-month schedule, this is idealized. Posty will edit it. Now that could change. We communicate. I say, hey, I need this episode sooner, or like whatever. But so then 2 months from now or so, I will go into that folder. I will look at my tape notes. I'll be making a schedule. We're adjusting the schedule. But I'll have a general idea. I'll say, okay, well, we need episode 1 of our new series. I'll go in that folder. I will download the files. So the files have been edited, a first pass edit. So the episodes are recorded linearly, but I might do multiple takes, or there might be extra pauses. There's background noise. They will be what's the right word for it? There'll be some noise removal and other stuff applied to the audio. So it's almost ready to, well, it's a lot better quality than when it got recorded. So it'll be shorter than what was recorded, and I will download that, and it's in pieces. So I'll download a folder full of the pieces of the audio, and then usually right after I download it, I assemble first what I'm going to listen to, and so I'll assemble the episode as it's supposed to go out on Patreon, and export that as an MP3, because these are all much bigger files, like they're project files or uncompressed audio. So I will assemble the show in an editing software and put all the pieces together, just as if someone was going to listen to it on Patreon. And I put a special label on it, and then I upload it to a podcast player, not as a podcast, but as an MP3. And then it'll be on my phone, and then I'll make sure it's on my phone. And then probably not the same day, but I guess, because this wouldn't be, but maybe like if I was going for a run or walking the dog or a long drive, then I'll start listening to the episode. And let me see if I can give you an example, because, well, anyway, I'll start listening to the episode, and I'll be listening to it on my earbuds mostly, but I'll also listen to it in my car, and I will listen to the episode 2 to 3 times. Lately, it's been 3 times, which I think is probably best practice. And I'll listen to the episode, and as I listen to it, ideally one of those times I'm sitting down, not doing anything else, but a couple of times, it's part of the reason I listen to it is I'm out and about, and I'll take a screenshot when something sticks out to me. I used to take notes, but now mostly I just take a screenshot, so it'll have the time of the audio. And then the next time I'm sitting at my desk and I have time, then I'll pull up the project file, and then I'll go through the audio and say, okay, why did I take a screenshot at, usually I'll remember, but sometimes I might not, but I'll be like, 1423. And there's just usually something that needs to be removed. You can't really change anything. But I'll be like, I didn't like that, or, can I get rid of that take, or let me just listen to that. Or I don't think I don't do it if there's something I really, just because there's nothing, I wouldn't change it. But so then I'll have taken stuff out. Maybe sometimes there'll be something the editor missed, but most of the times it's just I'm editing for something to just make sure the show's flowing the way I want it to, or there's just, I don't know, something that's needs to be taken out. It's not like a super, I'm approaching it from a perfectionist point of view. I'm approaching it from the listener point of view and from doing this show for so long. Then I will export the episode again after I've listened to it and I feel like I've gotten through it 3 times. This will be like, I've tried to get further out, but this will be like I'm listening to well, anyway, like usually like now we're starting to get, now we're in the deadline zone. So we're not 3 months out. Now we're like less than a week out from Patreon release. I've tried to get to like where I could listen to it twice. This is just a reality, and it has never changed. So it'll be like today's Wednesday, a Patreon episode's coming out. Right now I'm listening to the Patreon episode that comes out on Sunday, and then I'll start listening like on the weekend. I'll be listening to the episode that comes out Wednesday. So then like at some point tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, probably tomorrow I'll again export with any changes the episode for Patreon, and I'll upload it to Patreon and Apple Podcasts for the subscriber things and schedule those. And those are separate platforms. So, and we're keeping track of everything. Now, at the same time, Rusty Biscuit is also going to be listening to the episodes and taking notes and pulling stuff from the show and again giving it a listen. And Rusty Biscuit will let me know, Russell, if there's anything that sticks out. And then also at some point I'll be uploading the episode for our transcriptionist Leah to transcribe the shows. Now all this has been disrupted because my life's been disrupted, but again, this is the normal best practices for the show. Then I will upload the show to Patreon. Again, this is another great opportunity because then the patrons will listen to it. And it doesn't happen very often because it's not it's like it was something stuck out on the Patreon. Like there's still some error that we missed or something else. Like I might hear from a patron and I say, okay, I can listen to it. I can't necessarily always change it because again, but I can listen to it and say, oh, let me see if I can hear what you heard. So then the show's out on Patreon. It's out on Apple Podcasts, the subscriber edition. And again, that's maybe 10 days before the episode comes out to the public. Then another week will probably elapse. Usually, to be honest, it's usually the day of the episode still. Though there's sometimes I'm doing it. Like today, I was working on Sunday's episodes for the public release. Because again, these are all different episodes I'm working on. Like this is just one episode. It's like I'm working on the Patreon episode, I'm working on the public episode, and I'm working on episodes I'm writing and episodes I'm recording. But again, it's just like being a short order cook. Like you're like, okay, I got the eggs over here, the hash browns over here, frying the bacon. They all take different times. So, okay, do I got to flip those? Okay, oh, there's toast in there. Okay, but I've done well. Okay, so then I will start to work on the public release, and the public release is assembled much differently than the Patreon release. So I actually have to like re-break up the public release. I add in the thank yous at the end. I listen to that. Then I listen to the beginning of the show, and then I put in the Sleepy Supporter Zone, and those are exported as parts just because of the way the free show works. And then I will export all those parts, and then I will upload those to where the free show is hosted, these are all different places too, and get everything ready for the free show. So then I'll take everything we have written for the show, and then I'll add in anything that needs to go in the free show. Then if in a perfect world we're doing that ahead of time, like today I got Sunday's done, then even if it's done today, then on Sunday at like noon, I will again go back in and listen to everything again, at least the first 5 minutes. And then I'm just checking, okay, well, the episode part of the show is 48 minutes. That seems right. Okay, I'm listening to the beginning of it. The file names look right. There's also different other smaller parts. But again, then that's uploaded. Then I'll put it on the website. I'll schedule all that to release. And that's it. Then the episode's out in the world. And occasionally we'll make a mistake. I guess like recently we this is where it's weird. It slipped through the cracks. But I only heard from one I didn't actually hear from the person. I just saw their post on a Facebook group that said like our all intro episode was actually a repeated all intro episode. So that was a weird one. And that again shows like, and it's okay not to be perfect. Like people make mistakes. Like somehow that all intro episode, I mean, from my perspective, I must have missed it in my notes because I have like a file with all the lists of all the intro episodes that are getting put out in the public feed, and I must not have put the notes in for the previous one. So I was like, okay, these are the episodes I need to download to build this all intro episode. So that all intro episode apparently was a repeat. So that all intro episode went out. I, I I listened to it. I don't listen to all intro episodes because it already came out. I might have listened to it once. I just assembled it, put it out on Patreon. Then it got listened to on Patreon. Nobody noticed. And it didn't get noticed until I guess it was out in the public world. And then I'm just literally moving on to the next thing. So like today, the next thing I'm probably going to do is check on today's Wednesday. I'll double check. It's 1:35 p.m. The episodes come out at 4 p.m. So I'll double check the releases in the next 30 minutes and make sure everything's set to go. And then the episodes come out. So it's quite a process, and there's a lot of people involved. Then Posty will also be Posty and Russell and Carl are also working on like whatever will go out to promote the shows, like the audiogram. We don't have songs anymore just because Jonathan's been really busy with other projects. But that would have happened earlier. It would have been like making sure he knows about the shows. But I think that's it for the process. There's probably something I'm missing. But I mean, it's very much like that short order cook thing where it's like, okay, and it's easy for me to lose track of one part of the process, even though I kind of have a system for it. But it's like, what do I got to do today? I mean, and or a lot of times it's like, what am I behind on? Right now, I'm behind on watching Mandalorian and taking notes. That has to get done because next week I have to record a Mandalorian episode. I have to have a crossover episode we're doing with another podcast. I have to print that out and listen to that episode a few times from their show so I can be ready to record that, which again, ideally will be recorded next week. Then start to more get an idea of next week's recording schedule and be like, okay, on Monday, maybe I'll record that crossover episode or a Mandalorian episode. Then on Tuesday, I'm flipping it. So I'll record the intro on that Tuesday. And then next week's the same schedule as this week. So then Thursday night, I would record an intro. And then Friday, I would record the episode. But again, nothing's in a vacuum. So something will happen one of those 4 days and I won't be able to record. So then I might record on Saturdays or Sundays. When my daughter went to school closer to home, it was a little bit different because I had 5 days I could record during the day when things were quiet. But that's just not the reality. The past couple of years, my daughter goes to school pretty far away. So I drive her to school and I work from a co-working place, which is nice because then I can get off. Well, it's not office work done, but replying to emails, building episodes, writing, and stuff like that. So, wow, this is a long answer. But I think that's mostly it of what happens to episode after it gets recorded. And again, I just want to make clear, like, it's kind of always been that way. I mean, I've gotten more help over the years, but it never comes from a place of perfectionism. It's do the best job we can-ism. Like I said, we've made mistakes. There's also stuff that the people haven't liked that I've decided, well, I could see why I wouldn't like that, but I'm going to leave that in. And then there's been stuff that patrons have said, and I've said, oh, you know what, I can remove that from the show, or other creative decisions, but also screw ups like that all intro episode, or episode just not going out on time because I hit the wrong button, or I forgot to hit the right button, or because there was a glitch. And there's always glitches, like with all these different platforms and stuff like that. Then it's like, this episode's supposed to be there and it's not there. Why isn't that there? Anything else about when the episodes come out. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks. And yeah, post your questions on Question Corner.